G'day guys, I just thought I'd make a video today on doing a new finish on this Joker Ember knife I purchased recently. You might have seen in my last video. So I'm really very impressed with this knife. I love it. However, I feel the knife handle is lets it down slightly in my opinion. It's a little bit dry. It may have a slight finish on it, but it is quite dry, and I feel like it could take on, I know it's a very dense timber curly birch, but it still could take on a bit of moisture and possibly become stained by different things out in the field. Also, I just think it'll look better with a bit more of a finish on it, so I would have finished it a little bit differently personally. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I thought I'd show you guys what I'm planning to do. What I'm going to use is this product here called True Oil. It's a gun stock finish. It's based on linseed oil. It has some polymers added, I believe. It's in itself, it is a satin finish. However, if you, depending on how you finish the item you're working on, you can achieve a gloss finish if you like with it, but I'm probably more leaning towards a satin finish, so that's what I'm shooting for with this handle. So things you'll need, and the way I'm going to do it, I've got some 800 grit, it's like a emery paper. It's probably not perfect for timber, it's probably more for steel, but it'll do the job. So I'm just going to give it a light rub with that. It's because it's got a slightly rough finish texture to it at the moment, so I'll give that a really light sand back just to take off any furry bits in the grain. Just like so. And we'll give it a bit of a... So that's cleaned it up nicely. So with this stuff, we'll give it a bit of a shake. I've just got a bit of cotton rag or cloth here. I'll just open that up. You don't need much of this stuff, less is more pretty much when it comes to this. So what I'll do, hopefully the camera will pick up what this is going to do to the timber, and it's just going to bring it to life. It's got that beautiful burl grain in it that you really couldn't see. So there's one side unfinished, and that's just the first coat on that side. It really is a beautiful timber, and it should be shown off, I think. Put a little bit more on that side. And you want to rub it in quite well. You don't want to leave it thick on the timber at all. I think really I'm probably only looking at about 2 or 3 coats for the finish I'm going for with this knife. I don't want anything high gloss, but I just want a bit more of a protective finish and something that'll bring out the beauty of the timber. So there, as you can see guys, I'm hoping the camera will pick that up, but to me that is a huge improvement already. So I'll check back in with you again when I put the next coat on. You need to leave it for a couple of hours at least, if it's not too cold, and then you can go ahead and put your next coat on. But I'll show you what I do before I apply the next coat when I come back. Alright guys, I'm back. It's only been probably maybe an hour and a half since I did the initial coat on this handle. But as I said, I'll probably only do a couple of coats on this one, and yeah, I think it's dry enough to go ahead with the next coat. So what I do next, I've got some steel wool. This is 4/0 or 40 grade steel wool. It's very fine. What we do is just very lightly run over the handle again. Make sure you get the end grain at the end of the handle and near the blade. Just really quickly, guys. It hasn't brought up much grain in the timber at all, which makes me think it's probably had some sort of coating from the factory. Okay, we'll just give that a quick wipe off. Get rid of any steel wool. And just the same as before, we will, yeah, as I said before, this is Birchwood Casey True Oil gun stock finish. Just get your rag, put a bit on there. You can see that as soon as you put it on, it just brings out the beautiful grain in that birch. Give it a decent rub. Look at that, guys. It's a beautiful piece of timber. It's just too nice to have that dry look to it. I think this will just be a lot better. And as I said, 2 coats. I don't want it glossy. I just want it a bit of protection and something to bring out the beauty of that grain in the timber. So that's about it for that side. I'm going to pretty much call that done once it's dry. Make sure you get the end grain. You don't want anything getting into the grain and staining the timber down the track. Check that out. Just beautiful. I'll just flip it over. A little bit more oil. And away we go again. Careful not to cut myself. It's extremely sharp, this knife. I probably would tape up the blade usually, but I'm just being careful, and I just want to get this done. We're going away in a couple of days and I want to have it ready to use. There's the other side, guys, check that out. It's just too nice to leave in that dry finish, in my opinion, this timber. The other side. Just magic. Beautiful, beautiful piece of timber, that. I'll just quickly run over the other side again. Just here, it doesn't take much. Just use what's on your rag and just keep rubbing it in. The timber will take up a little bit of it. You don't want it sort of residue or a film sitting on top of the timber, unless that's what you're looking for. But I just want just a little bit of a satin finish, and just have a look at that, guys. Just absolutely mint. Alright, I'll just rub off any residue there, because I'm not going to hit it again after this. I'm just going to leave it at those 2 coats. There we go, guys, done. Absolutely lovely. And I'll just pop it down there to dry out, and that's it, guys. I hope you're all well and have a fantastic Christmas. I'll see you later.